So we created a new user in the last lesson. Now let's talk about managing groups. So in the last lesson, we talked about 3 commands that start with user. We have user add, user mod, and user del. We have similar commands for managing groups. So we have group add, group mod, and group del. So let's add a new group called developers. Now, why do we need groups? You probably know this, but we use groups so all users in the same group have the same kind of permission, okay? So now we have a new group. Where is this group? It's in a file in the etc directory. So cat/etc/group. Here are all the groups in this image. So down the bottom, you can see the group of developers, and this is the ID of this group, 1003. Now we want to add John to this group. How do we do that? Let's bring up user mod. So here we have an option for setting the group. Here it is. Again, we have a short form with a capital G and a long form that says groups. With this, we can set the supplementary groups for this user. But we also have another option with the lowercase g or GID that is for setting the primary group of the user. So what is the difference? Well, every Linux user has one primary group and 0 or more supplementary groups. Now, why are these groups separated? Well, let's say John is part of 5 groups, and now he wants to create a new file. Every file, as I will show you in the next lesson, is owned by one user and one group. Here's the question. If John is part of 5 groups, which group should we use for owning that new file that John is going to create? That's why we need a primary group. Now, the primary group is automatically created when we create a new user. It's the group with the same name as the user. So here, I'm going to use this other option to set the supplementary groups for John. So we say user mod -G. Now here we type the group name, that is developers, and then we add John to this group. Great. Now let's look at the password file one more time. So cat/etc password. Now, what if we only want to see the record for John? We can use piping again. So here we can use grep and search for John. That's one way. Another way is to use grep and search for John in etc/password. So in this record, I told you that this is the user ID for John, and this is the group ID. This is the ID of John's primary group. Now, where the secondary groups are stored, I can't recall on top of my head, and it doesn't really matter. We actually have a command for seeing the groups of a user. We type groups and then the name of the user, so John. So John is currently part of 2 groups. One group is John, which is John's primary group, and the other one is developers, which is a supplementary group, okay? Now, of course, we can add John to more supplementary groups, and that's what I want you to do as an exercise. So pause the video, add John to a new group called artists. In the next lesson, we're going to talk about file permissions.